Hey everybody, Jimmy back with the Triple C Collective for another Turtle Tuesday commentary track. Today is Season 2, Episode 12, The Catwoman from Channel 6. Now, just recently, obviously, as you guys know from my unboxings and stuff, other videos I do on the channel here, or that we do on the channel here, uh, there is a new toy that I shouldn't say new, but there is a new set that is based from this episode that was just recently released. It is a 4 pack. You get April O'Neil as like the Catwoman. It has the April O'Neil and the Catwoman head. You get Irma, Vern, April, and their boss, who I can't think of his name, but the boss president person of Channel 6. They're all in it. It's a great little pack. I'll put up an unboxing of it sometime soon, and yeah, I'm really excited to be able to do that. But enough about the toy. Let's talk about the episode. So this episode opens with Splinter meditating, the Turtles watching another monster movie. This one is like a slime monster movie. And, we get the like Splinter and them like having the conversation of like too much TV warps the minds, promotes violence, and all that stuff. We get a cut to Shredder. He has a transporter or like a transporter. It's really kind of like a Star Trek teleporter that Shredder is able to send Bebop and Rocksteady to like kind of couple of different distances. Where Shredder actually sends Bebop and Rocksteady, though, is to a dump. But yeah, he gets Bebop and Rocksteady into the like teleporter transporter. We get a cut back to the Turtles. The Turtles are watching watching a movie still in the lair. We see Bebop and Rocksteady then, appear at a dump. They like a city dump or whatever. They're walking around. They find their way basically into the sewers, and Bebop and Rocksteady then walk in on the Turtles watching TV in the sewers. It is wild. It is awesome. It is so cool to see that. It was really great. It was really awesome. It was really fun to see. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so cool, and yeah, it was really fun because then we get a Bebop Rocksteady turtle fight. The fight doesn't have excuse me, the normal fight music, which I almost think now at this point might be dubbed as like the boss fight music or like an equivalent of that. Like I really think now the like really good fight music that I keep wanting all the time that I'm not always getting in every single fight is because of that, is that they kind of save it at this point for like, the quote unquote boss fight or the end fight of the episode. But the fight is really awesome. It doesn't have the normal music. you know, uh, Rocksteady is thrown horn first into the wall, which was really great. Bebop is swinging around a bat like wildly and like destroys their TV, and they're like, "No, our TV." Then after that happens, so maybe I'm wrong because it's true. Like after that happens, then the real fight music kicks in, and then this is when the turtles like really turn it up, and they just start tossing Bebop and Rocksteady around. Michelangelo, he does a really great like kick of Rocksteady back into the wall, horn first as well in it. At some point, like Shredder, we get a cut back to Shredder, and he's like, "All right, I think they've had enough time wherever they were," and he goes boop boop boop, and then Bebop and Rocksteady are teleported back to where Shredder was, and they're like, "Oh, we were just with them toidles," and We were just with them Toitos. We were just fighting them. Oh, why'd you bring us back here? We had them on the ropes. I've got a really bad, goon accent there. But that's kind of what they sound like, Bebop and Rocksteady. You know what they sound like. So Shredder is, shocked that, Bebop and Rocksteady were able to actually do something, good. And he's like, we got to go back there. You got to take us back there. We got to find them. We got to, destroy the turtles. And, Bebop and Rocksteady then do what they do best and incoherently basically tell Shredder how to, it was like we were at the thing and then you take a left and a right and another left and another right, and it's, oh man, it's so bad. They're the worst at giving directions. The worst. Then we get a cut back to the Turtles. Turtles are trying to fix their TV. They can't really fix the TV. They need a new TV. Maybe April might be able to help them. They call, we get a cut to April. April's doing some sort of human interest piece and is interviewing a guy who for an eating competition who likes to have a lot of onions, and we get the repulsive look on April's face that oh god, this guy just reeks of onions. It's awful. But April picks up the call from the Turtles. It's like, hey, do you have a spare TV? April asks, excuse me. April takes the call, brings them the TV. Is like, what happened here? How'd you guys destroy your place? How did it end up a wreck like this? And they're like, was it thugs? How'd they find you? And they're like, it was Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't know. They just walked by. I mean, we're only in the sewer system, so in theory, if they just decided to take a stroll, they might have picked the right place. And in the end, they were teleported to a dump that led them in there. But the Turtles nor do Bebop and Rocksteady really know how any of that happened, because as we saw, Bebop and Rocksteady were incoherently telling Shredder where to find the turtles and stuff again. So as April's asking these questions, Splinter right away knows exactly what it is. He's like, it's a matter transporter. That's what Shredder has. That's how they got here. Now I'm just it's Master Splinter. He's very smart. He's one of the single probably greatest teachers you could probably have. Matter transporter seems a little bit outside of his degree of maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's why I'm a bad Turtle fan. I don't think so. I love the Turtles. But I'm questioning Master Splinter. Maybe that's why I'd be a bad student and I'd fail in his, with him. I don't know. I just have questions about how he just automatically knew, matter transporter. Yes. That's what it is. No question. It couldn't be anything else. Matter transporter. Sure. Okay, Splinter. You got it. Matter transporter. Don't know how you know that, but whatever. April then, is jumping at this. She sees the story of what it could be. And she was walking around. She sees that there is a Chinese food wrapper on there, and that's where April decides to go. She decides to go and check that out to see if she can track down Bebop and Rocksteady that way and figure out then where Shredder is and get the matter transporter and get a story on that, get that on camera, get anything like that happening. April then goes to the restaurant is named Woo's, and so she goes to Woo's restaurant and talks with one of the chefs there. Turtles are like, hey, she can't go there by herself after she's already left. So then they get on their disguises and trail her, try and find her, make sure, cover her, have her back, so that she's not hurt in that, because they know going to Woo's can be not a savory place, and definitely what she's trying to ask for definitely leaves her open to some harm, because she's looking after Bebop and Rocksteady, looking for a story that she probably that is pretty dangerous to look into, and yeah. So April O'Neil is able to get Wu to answer her questions by saying that she's a food critic, and it's like, this is good and stuff. She asks about a warthog and a rhino coming in, and he's able to tell her, oh yeah, they came over by the way of the warehouse at the end of the pier. Then as April walks away, we get a guy that was eating there, that April took one of his food, and it's like, sir, what about the rest of my wontons? And Wu, who's much smaller than him, takes this dude and tosses him like a rag doll. Just whoo, tosses him. It's awesome. It's great. It's so cool. So April arrives at the warehouse. She gets in there. She sees like a computer bank kind of thing set up, and then she sees best way I can describe it is like in Star Trek. If you've ever seen the teleporters in Star Trek, that's exactly what this stuff looks like in here. And so she then sees that teleporter set up, like where there's the platform, and then there's like a little like thing like above that go woo or whatever, and yeah, it's great. And so she sees it, she's taking pictures of it so that she can record this and like make it part of her story and everything. And she's able to back up her story with the photos, so that's always good. She tries to scare a cat out, or not scare a cat, but like shoo a cat out of a shot, because there's just it's an abandoned like warehouse with this matter transporter that really only Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady are using, and they're currently not there right now, which is also kind of weird, and I have questions about, but that's beside the point right now. Why would you just leave that abandoned? Why wouldn't you just have at least one of you stay there? Hold down the fort, if you will. I've got questions. I have questions. So April is taking her pictures, shooing the cat away. She gets a little bit closer to the matter transporter, and the cat is on the keyboard, starts pushing some buttons, and then jumps over to the platform as it starts going woo and all that, turning on and running, and it's great. Because then we get the cat and April getting like basically changing into each other, for lack of a better word. Like we start kind of seeing April's face, like she starts she starts feeling weird. Her claws her nails start to grow a little bit into claws. If you've seen the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman has claws similar like that. It's actually just like really grown out nails. It's a neat thing that they decided to do with that. Back to the episode. So April arrives back to her apartment. Her nails and claws start to change. She's kind of talking like meow after like words and stuff. Irma shows up and is like, hey, are you okay? You've been acting kind of weird. Irma is like, hey, your apartment also can't, like, you're not allowed to have all these cats here that you do in your apartment. Like, what are you doing? And April's like, I'll just get rid of them in a little bit. Don't worry about it for right now. And it's really funny. It's really great. So Irma makes a bowl of milk then, basically for the for the cats to drink. The cats start drinking it. Irma's like, all right, well, bye, April. This has been weird. I hope you feel better. And then as soon as Irma leaves, April jumps into the bowl of milk with the rest of the cats and is like, oh my God, I'm so excited that she finally left and I'm able to do this. The turtles finally arrive then at Wu's place. We get a Humphrey Bogart joke, which is really awesome because they're like, we know you guys are the turtles and you guys are in disguise. It's really great. We get a really like odd offhand like I smell trouble kind of joke. We also get an awesome line of like enough stalling turkeys before enough stalling, you turkeys are about to be plucked. It's just really great like bad villain one liners. It's brilliant. It's awesome. It's so good. um and the turtles are just like, well, we're turtles. The fight, and they fight. It's awesome. We get the awesome fight music in this. We get a classic Michelangelo tongue twister as well. Furious fun, filled food, flinging fight 3 times fast. That's what he says. He totally does the fourth wall breaking and looking at the camera and being like, hey, that's what he does. It's great. We get a cutback to April now, after the showdown at Woo's between the turtle and everyone else there at Woo's restaurant. April's back at Channel 6. She's, working on her story, but she's also interacting with, like, Vern and, like, hissing at him and stuff. It's really great. It's really awesome. And that's something that I actually really liked in this episode, is that as we see April, like, divulge more physically looking into a cat, the longer claws and, like, getting in the nose and then the ears and everything, more fur around her face, all over it. As all of that starts happening and like getting like cat-like teeth and stuff, it's really great. Like also the like little voices and stuff that, and like the little sounds of like meow and stuff that get thrown in there. Like I love it. The like taking on the persona and like hissing and stuff at Vern, like, yeah, it was really great. It's a really great voice performance. It's a lot of fun, this voice performance that she's having with April here, and it's great. We get we also get the line after, like, April's like hissing and stuff, and like it's like meow, meow, get out. Vern's like, no need to get catty. Sometimes, hooey, just sometimes. Irma then is like with April and is like pressing the issues, like trying to figure out like what happened. April's explaining that she was taking pictures and there was a cat that got on there. April, leaves abruptly because she doesn't want to keep talking to Irma about this. And it's just like upset and out and, turning into a cat and to, a Catwoman basically. Not a Catwoman from Batman though. And, ooh, I'm all out of drink. So, as April leaves, more and more upset with Irma, Irma is able to make a call to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, and this is a weird thing here, because she calls the Turtles, Leonardo answers, but on the turtle comm itself, on Irma's end, the picture that she sees there is a turtle with a red bandana. But it's very clearly Leo who originates the call, but on the face of it, it's a red bandana, and it's definitely not Raphael who's talking. Raphael pops in at some point and, like, makes a little comment or whatever, but doesn't do anything, like, major there. So April is looking around trying to see what happened. Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder are all there. Shredder is saying that, she's been transmutated. She's more female than she's more female than feline right now. So, like, she understands, maybe she can help us hunt down a rodent. We see Irma. We get a cutback then to Irma and the Turtles meeting up in the subway together, and they're saying, "Hey, we need to meet back at April's apartment. See if she went there. See if there's any kind of clues or anything." Irma tells the Turtles like the weirdness of how she was acting, like with the cats and stuff. So that's what they decide to do. The Turtles and Irma split up, and go their separate ways to try and get to April's as quickly as possible. We get a cutback to Shredder inside his lab again. April is in a cage now. You know, Shredder says that he's like her friend, and that he's here to help, and he's giving her a new collar. This collar is actually like meant to control April, like, and April's like hissing at him and stuff, and it's really crazy. It's really awesome. It's really fun, and it's like it was really cool. I always like the like one thing that the Turtles always have done good, both in like this show and like the comics and stuff, is like doing the like animal human hybrid mutation stuff. It's always really cool. So it's been cool to see like April in this transformation and everything for it. And with the collar on, you know, like Shredder says, like maybe she can hunt down a rodent now, and this collar allows like Shredder is explaining to Bebop and Rocksteady that the collar allows him to control her and like influence her, so he will be able to, you know, have her hunt down a Splinter. And we get the cut to the Turtles then on their way to meet Irma at April O'Neil's apartment. The Turtles are attacked by a loose tiger on their way to April's apartment. Donnie like goes in to approach the tiger and is like knocked backwards and like saved by Michelangelo from like getting like pounced on and like torn apart basically by the tiger. Eventually they're able to like beat and defend the tiger like back. They get up into April's apartment, and Irma's already there, sitting there comfortably. And they're like, "How'd you get in here so easily and so quickly?" And she's like, "I have a key to April's apartment." And it's like, oh, I wish we would have known that, because that would have made everybody's life, including the Turtles' life, easier getting to April's apartment. So while they're in April's apartment, the Turtles and Irma, they find like notes and photos about like the story about the matter transporter and stuff and all of that. So they find it, they see the warehouse stuff, so they're like, that's where we need to go. We'll go we'll go to the warehouse on the dock. They see the photo with the cat. Donnie Donnie explains like, oh, this cat, the matter transporter, they're probably like doing like a body switch thing, or like really in the end April is turning into like a human cat, is what Donnie explains, which is really great. We get a cut to Splinter. Splinter is in his lair. It's all fixed up. A random cat walks in and like, you know, Splinter like shoos it away. He's not like super mean to it, but he's just like, he truly has a fear of cats. We cut back to then Shredder and April getting their official mission to go hunt down and destroy Splinter. We get Krang calling Shredder then, and making digs at Shredder, saying, "Hey, now you might finally get something right." It's really funny. It's really great. Shredder then is like, well, let me remind you, Krang, that it was your teleporter that malfunctioned. And Krang's like, do you need me to send a repair person to watch you fix it again? Or, you know, is just the instructions okay? And Shredder's all like, just the instructions are fine. I'll be able to put it back together myself. And Shredder's like, send the Technodrome, take no second chances, as well. Krang doesn't do that, isn't gonna do that. Splinter, you know, is trying to meditate. We get a cut back to Splinter. He's trying to meditate. He's trying to rid his mind of the cats and like his fear of cats. And then we get the Tiger and April O'Neil coming in to say hi. We get the Tiger and April coming in, starting to, slowly approach to Splinter and stuff. We get a cut back to the Turtles and Irma. They're looking for, a cat in like alleys and streets and stuff. Donatello finds some random cat in some random alley that happens to like rub up on him, and Donatello's like, I think this cat is April. I think this is it. And then the cat kind of like nudges some more or whatever, because it kind of looked like the cat in the pictures is like what else Donatello says. Splinter calls the Turtles saying like, hey, I need help, April and a Tiger are here, ready to attack me. The Turtles head out, and then we get Irma still looking for that boyfriend, saying like, ooh, Splinter, I hope he's cute, which is really funny. Not saying that Splinter isn't cute, but Splinter is not who Irma would be expecting Splinter to be. That's all I'm going to say. So then we get a cut back to the Turtle Lair. Splinter is defending himself now against April and the Tiger. Splinter's like, I won't fight you, April. We're friends. Like, you're my friend. Like I know you know this. And like, April is kind of like conflicted and stuff in it. The Turtle or Splinter says, the Turtles, they mean so much to you and you mean so much to them. Like, think about it. And then we get the Turtles arrive. She's like, yeah, the Turtles are, my friends. Their sensei is my friend. The collar, like, no longer really holding control on April. Now we get an animation mistake that I call out every once in a while when I notice them. In this one, it is Leonardo draws his katana out and is running straight towards April O'Neil to, hit the collar, because the collar is still like in control of April, but she's trying to fight it and she can't really get it out. So Leo is charging at April with his katana to try and hit the collar. So we see Leo draw his katana and start charging towards April. And then what we see is the katana connect, and then we see Splinter holding the katana after making it seem like he had just destroyed the collar around April O'Neil's neck. And it's just an animation mistake, because they clearly have Leo drawing it and going out. It's not, it no way is it Leo tossing it to Splinter or anything like that. It's just an animation mistake. I notice these every once in a while. But then we get the next shot. The next shot is the next shot is not Splinter who charges at April, or who has the next shot shows Donatello with the sword, and not even Splinter or Leonardo, like I said. Wow, my notes were wrong there. It's Leo who pulls out his katana. He charges at April. Leo charges at April, who is on top of Splinter, like attacking him. That's what my notes meant. Sorry. And Leo is going to cut the collar because April is distracted that way. We see the katana. We see a shot of Leo going at April. Then we see the katana connect with the collar. Then we see Donatello standing there with with Leo's katana in hand. And even the belt says D as well on that. It's not like I think they meant it to clearly be Leo, but they even put the D on the belt, so like that was really weird about it as well. Then we get the tiger like approaching, like now Splinter and April and all of that. Michelangelo pulls out a wind up mouse, and the wind up mouse goes and like runs throughout, and the tiger goes starts and chases the mouse into a cage. It's trapped. Leo goes to Mikey, man, you and your dumb toys. And Michelangelo's like, never look a gift mouth in the mouth, gift mouse in the mouth. Everybody groans. Shredder, he lost control. Bebop and Rocksteady try and kill a mouse that bit one of them, and they end up destroying the teleporter. April, one thing that Shredder had said earlier when he was talking about, she's still April is still more female than feline, is that eventually the cat teleportation stuff will wear off. So they didn't have to do anything extra. So April then is back to normal now. She's complaining about how her nails are so ground down, and that she wasn't able to really, or that she has all of that issues with her nails and and all of that ruined from walking on all fours. Irma shows up at the lair calling on Splinter. Splinter comes out and it's like, "Hi, I'm Splinter," and everyone's like, "What are you doing in the sewers here, Irma?" She's like, "I'm calling on Splinter. I want to see him." And he walks out from the shadows of one part of the lair, and Irma kind of freaks out when she sees it, and then everybody laughs, and we get a cut to credits. So this has been definitely a longer episode than what I usually do. I've gone on some tangents on this. I am super sorry about that. I'll try and keep it a little bit more contained next time. My name is Jimmy Clark. I want to thank you all for joining us here on Turtle Tuesday, commentary track, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series from the 1980s, Season 2, Episode 12, Catwoman from Channel 6. I'm Jimmy Clark. Thank you for joining me.